In the news this week, is hydrogen enough to stop the blackouts? Questions remain on Australia's energy sustainability.
Generation Feud, how young Australians felt being constantly misunderstood by old people.
Around 100 guns stolen from a firearm store following an overnight robbery in Yangebup.
And cuteness weapon, WA Police revealed its new canine recruit aiming to serve regional areas. Plus a feature interview on Western Perspective, that's coming up.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Leung and Sarah Smith.
Good evening. Federal and state energy ministers met in Perth this week to discuss the best way to prevent blackouts and keep energy costs low, with a national hydrogen strategy agreed by the council. But energy experts said the hydrogen plans still heavily relies on the current power network, and decentralisation of the grid is the future. Helene Fong reports.
It's a meeting amongst all leaders on how to reduce Australia's high energy costs and increase reliability. Smiles are at the forefront as all states and federal ministers agreed that hydrogen is the answer.
Which is extremely good news for an industry that offers very real potential for Australia, not only in using hydrogen domestically as a source of low-cost, affordable, reliable power into the future, but of course as an export opportunity.
The Energy Minister said that Australia is on target to meet our Paris and Kyoto obligations, but that coal isn't going away anytime soon.
Coal will continue to play an important role in our electricity system for many years to come.
Some experts aren't convinced that hydrogen will bring down power bills.
In terms of its role in the future renewable energy mix, the jury is still out.
James Eccleston, an energy researcher at Curtin University, believes that hydrogen relies too much on current energy distribution networks. He believes that in the future, electricity will be generated where it's used. Mr. Eccleston disagrees that coal will continue to play a role in our electricity.
Ultimately, the report published by the Frydenberg showed that coal comes to an end in 2050 in this country.
The Energy Council will meet in March next year to continue to discuss energy policy. Helene Fong, WAMN News.
Smash avocados, bigger debt, getting married later and struggling to own a home. These are the typical things we associate Generation Z with. And that's before we include how the baby boomers generation views us. A report published by McCrindle Research reveals the views of different generations and what the Australian workplaces can do to avoid a feud. Shibs Way takes a look.
Don't you hate it when someone from an older generation tell you what to do? Or when they try to instill their moral obligations on you? You might not realize it, but an intergenerational feud is taking place, with Gen Z kids calling out baby boomers with a condescending catchphrase, "Okay boomer," to express their frustration that old people just don't get it. Although it's true that this generation has it better, they are also facing new challenges compared to the previous generation.
Thinking about and looking at the perspective of younger people, not discounting us just because we are a bit younger, but listening to what we have to say, I think will benefit older generations.
Ashley Fell, a social researcher from the McCrindle Institute, agrees that although there are differences between the different generations, mutual respect and knowing their strengths will be key moving forward.
Older generations have great customer service skills, have really great use of wisdom in the workforce. Younger generations bring great, awareness of technology and current issues. So drawing on the strengths of each generation is key.
As different generations have different strengths, it's important for Australia to have a national conversation about intergenerational differences to increase business productivity and reduce social friction. Shibsway, WMN News.
A highly organised criminal gang has stolen 100 guns from one of WA's largest gun retailer in a sophisticated midnight heist in Yangebup. Police says the thieves broke into neighbouring property and cut through the building's concrete panel walls into Claremont Firearms strong room, where the store's inventory is kept overnight. 80 to 100 officers are working on the investigation, codenamed Task Force Prosper.
Task Force Prosper has commenced from the Drug and Firearms Squad. From all WA police resources have been deployed. To resolve this incident, our priority is the recovery of the firearms and the safety of the West Australian community, and obviously the identification and arrest of the offenders.
Greens MLC Diane Evers has put forward an environmental court bill to the West Australian Parliament this week. Ms Evers has described the current system as failing people and the environment and seeks to overhaul the current appeals system by establishing a new environment court independent of government. She also added that the judge not only looks at the facts but also the impact on the public and how this will lead to better decisions.
By having a judge sit there who can only look at the facts and also look at public, the impact on the public, which would also be allowed into that decision, they can make a much more, a better decision.
Politicians, industry leaders, farmers and city dwellers celebrated the contributions the agriculture industry makes for Australia's third National Agriculture Day. WA Farmer Federation CEO Trevor Whittington says agriculture has been the backbone of the country for many years and still provides important and sustainable jobs.
For every job that's out there, there's probably another 5 or 6 that spins off that, and they are well paid. They're interesting, they're challenging, they're global, they're technical, and it's huge opportunities.
National Agriculture Day's aim is to remind Australians that the agriculture industry is an important part of our nation.
The final public hearing on the possible impeachment of US President Donald Trump continues, with the Democratic Party pushing ahead with the 8-week investigation. A report is currently being compiled, with the possibility of votes on impeachment likely to reach the House of Representatives by Christmas. However, key witnesses are yet to appear in the public hearing, as the White House and the State Department reportedly refused to comply with subpoenas. And Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe officially becomes Japan's longest-serving leader this week, marking more than 2,887 days in office. He has reportedly broken the record of Taro Katsura, who was Prime Minister from 1901 to 1913. Mr Abe is also the second longest-serving leader amongst the G7 countries, beaten only by German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who was elected in 2005.
WA Police Canine Unit has received its newest recruit. At 9 weeks old, Joker is training to be its newest member. Traditionally, police dogs are German Shepherd, but Joker is their first Belgian Mennoir. These dogs train very well to be dual-purpose dogs, as opposed to specialist dogs that are either trained for general duties or as sniffer dogs. At the same time, Whiskey, a dual-purposed 5-year-old German Shepherd, will be posted to Kalgoorlie starting in December for 2 years.
Other states I know and other police forces around Australia are looking at our program here, some of them quite enviously, and they're seeing the benefits of these dual-trained dogs. A lot of work goes into a police dog that's an incredible asset for WA Police.
And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on the website and social media pages.
Until next Sunday after 8 p.m, thank you for watching. Good evening.
Take care.